Hi folks, Buckley here. We are going to work in this lab session on some more advanced solid modeling operations in SOLIDWORKS. This lab is designed to be self-paced, so please put me on pause at any time. And you should be working along with me. So the examples that I'm creating, please do these yourselves on your screen as well. Okay. So we're going to go through a bunch of different solid modeling operations like we've been talking about in class. Your last assignment really focused on just two operations, right? So it was extrude and extrude cut. And those are really the same thing, just one is additive, extrude is additive, and extrude cut is the subtractive version of that operation. We also touched a little bit on fillets, right, making rounded edges, but that was pretty much it. So that's a great place to start in SOLIDWORKS because a lot of operations, you can do a lot with extrude and extrude cut. But there are a couple other operations that I want to let you know about that will allow you to make some different shapes. So we're going to start with the operation called shell. That's S-H-E-L-L, shell, like creating shell. And this is going to be particularly useful for part of the assignment coming up where you are making a Lego. So I'd like us to start by, so open up SOLIDWORKS obviously, and then get yourself a fresh page in SOLIDWORKS. New part. We're going to be working just in the model space right now, so only parts. And we're going to sketch something that looks like, I don't know, maybe a standard Lego cube. So I'm going to start by sketching on the top plane. Let me just make myself a little rectangle here. I'll put some even dimensions here. I'm not worried too much about what these numbers are. 5 seems good. Okay, I'm going to exit out of the sketch. And now I'm going to extrude to create something that looks a bit like a Lego. I'll take that up. Maybe a little bit less, 0.35, how about that? Okay, so we have sort of the outer shape of, like a regular Lego block here. And Legos, you'll notice, are, they're hollow, they're shelled out. So one of the faces, right, is missing, and what's left on the inside is a thin wall. It's a thin wall. So I need to do something to this rectangle that's going to give me that type of feature. So there's a really quick command to do this. You could imagine you could make this kind of shape in using extrude features, but it would take you a really long time. So SOLIDWORKS has a great feature called shell, and you can see removes material from a solid body to create a thin-walled feature. Well, that sounds exactly like what I want to do. So first thing it's going to say is what wall thickness do you want? So I'm going to leave it at about 0.1 inches, but you could change it. You could make it 0.05, right? So I'll try 0.1 to start. And then it says, which faces do you want to remove? Well, I just want to take away one face on the Lego, right? Lego's got 5 full faces and one face that's missing. And if I click OK here, what winds up happening is I get myself this shell, right? And then I'd like you to play around now. So, this is what we'd like to sit at, right? So this is kind of the shape that we want. But let's go back into shell and let's edit the feature. So I'm right-clicking on the shell command and I'm going into edit feature. And let's play around a little bit. So let me try a different thickness, right? So here's half the thickness, right? So it thins down those walls. I actually like that a little bit better. Maybe I'm going to leave it at 0.05. And then let's see what happens when I select other walls for this to go away. So I've got this one face, right, that I'm removing. What happens if I put 2 faces in? Well, then I get this sort of bookshelf looking thing, right? Okay, so you can select as many faces as you'd like here. I'm going back in and I'm just editing this feature every time. So here's a bookshelf with one end missing, right? Okay, so fool around, maybe put me on pause, fool around with all the features, and then get yourself back to that original Lego shape, please. And we're going to save that and we're going to come back to it later. So remember, you can add faces here, but you could also, delete. So if I want to get rid of these, I'm just using my delete. It's just a right click, and I'm back to my nice Lego shape. Okay. So play around a little bit, make sure that you understand and know all the intricacies of that feature in shell.